Check 1, 2. Hey Steve, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Booking with Jim Foster. And as you can hear, we're just going to get this thing set right up. I have with me none other than the one and the only Steve Starkiller Smith. What's up, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's an honor and a privilege, sir. So we're just going to get right down to it. There have been a lot of people in the business who have laid claim to the fame that they're the best ever and that there's nobody better than them. What do you think about that? Because honestly, I don't think that there's a bigger star than Steve Starkiller Smith.
Well, flattery will get you everywhere, sir. I've had the opportunity to shine pretty bright for people who wanted them to, for people who've wanted me to work for them. Had really great opportunities in DRW. I really made a name for myself outside of the kind of big spectrum of what a lot of us watch. I made NBW my home over the last couple of months, so I've had some opportunities to work with a lot of people who, they probably didn't know who Steve Starkiller Smith was a year ago. So I'm appreciative.
So you've also stepped in the ring with the guy who trained me, my mentor, breaking the fourth wall, also the other guy that I handle. You've also stepped in the ring with the one and the only Chris DeLeon.
Oh yeah, the patriarch of the DeLeon family.
Yes.
Uh, that match with you and Yusuke Toriyama at WKW was definitely a big favorite of mine. Glad we were able to do that. That was fun.
Yes, and you didn't have a match with Jim Foster. You had a match with Chris DeLeon.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Chris Chris DeLeon. Yeah, that was a really good match favorite
well,
one.
speaking of the WKW, WKW is now owned by yours truly, Jim Foster. So you never know, you may see another appearance of Steve Starkiller Smith there. But let's talk about NBW as kind of your home. Do you see yourself going anywhere else outside of NBW, or is NBW kind of where you're going to be hanging your hat right now?
Um, I think when it says, okay, where is the place to see or to wrestle Steve Starkiller Smith? Probably going to be in BW. You know, when I first came in there, they had a big open event. It was called Battle of New Orleans. They opened up the card for anybody and anybody to come. And I came in there, and needless to say, you know, they don't call me the King of New Orleans for nothing. But once I stayed there, I kind of liked the vibe, and I laid some roots in there. But what I try not to do is be one of those guys that just stays in their own little ivory tower. And it's real easy to be the best and say you're the best and have a lot of people say, you know, oh, he's the best, and you're just kind of hanging around the same 5 or 6 people. So I like to try to go out, you know, support other companies. There's some times where, you know, spread the love a little bit, work a match here and there with some people. But NBW is definitely my home. But there's inside the business, nothing's off the table. I mean, we could always do business. It's a business.
Well, that being said, how do you feel about the new NBW World Heavyweight Champion? And that's got to be kind of a thorn in your side.
You know, I don't know. I kind of wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm a big softy, man. You know, Jacob, this is somebody who I shared a locker room with. You know, we kind of confided in each other. I remember when he was, you know, trying to get that new breed championship. He got frustrated. He created the Thunderstruck championship. That's now the TV championship that Kelly holds, and we'll probably get into that later. But you know, he laid the groundwork for that, and when he did what he did and how he did it to get in the main event, you know, that completely threw me for a loop. I wasn't prepared at all. Granted, I don't really prepare for any of my matches. I just kind of go in there and do what I do, but that really threw me for a loop. And you would think after getting cashed in on, losing the championship to Chris Paradise and getting jumped by the Swarm, I might be a little callous, but I don't know what hurts more is Jacob DeLeon taking advantage of Steve Starkiller Smith or Chris Paradise and the Swarm jumping me. Because that shit kind of hurt. Yeah. One of those two things.
So, going back to the championship, and because to me, you know, I've been around for a while in one capacity or another, and I've seen my share of champions. What makes you want to stay in NBW, and what makes you want to either go after the NBW championship once again, or go outside of NBW in addition to NBW and maybe grab another championship elsewhere? What's your drive as far as that goes?
Do I want to be the NBW champion again? Yes. I would like to say I am the only multi-time world champion in NBW, especially now that we have a TV deal. We're on Hulu. That's one of the things that I was working on, trying to get us in the foot, you know, our foot in the door from day one. I wanted us to move on to bigger and better things. Now that we have the deal, you know, there's a little piece of me, and it's selfish, but I feel like, hey, I helped us get this deal, and now, you know, now I should be the man. I think I would be the type of person we want to do PR relationships with other companies, that, you know, endorsement deals. I have that type of face where other people who, little caustic, vitriolic, they just say and do whatever they want. You know, that may not be best for business, but you know, I'm just trying to do my part to bring tickets in, trying to get people to watch the product. When it comes to winning championships, otherwise, you know, um, the way I thought about it, when I was the champion at NBW, I wanted to represent that company. I wanted to be the face of that company, and I still feel like I have a responsibility to that company. But now that I have a less responsibility because I don't hold that championship right now, I think I do have the leeway to be able to visit other companies and see what opportunity is out there. But I think that's just me taking independent dates. And you know, even when I do that or when I'm offered stuff, sometimes I still kind of send a DM to the boss man at NBW and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" You know, I like to think about how am I going to go outside of our company. I still feel like I represent that company outside. I don't want us to look bad because I went out and took a whole bunch of bookings at this place and that place. They're like, "Oh, those NBW guys." So, am I up to it? Yeah, especially now. You know, I kind of look at it like, "Hey, there's some opportunities, but I know where home is." And again, nothing's on the table. Nothing's off the table. We can do business. I'm trying to
All
sell
right.
these shirts, man.
So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick moment, and I'm going to turn the music up a little bit for the podcast and let everybody know that it's not an endorsement. We don't get paid for this. But this music that you're hearing is royalty free. And this amazing, amazing channel called TechnoX on YouTube. And it's royalty free music. I want you to just take this in for a minute. Now, if you go to my channel, you'll be able to see and hear that music. You'll be able to download that music as well for your podcast, or your gameplay, or your motion picture. These guys are called TechnoX, and they put an amazing product together. I was looking for sweepers for this kind of thing, and I found these guys on YouTube. You can check them out by going to the Booking with Jim Foster page and seeing my subscriptions. I'm also subscribed to Uncle John, who is the host of and the creator of Cat Cop, as well as 13 different types of newsletters. And
Oh my God,
five
that shit
parts
is
to
so
that.
funny. Oh,
That
that
shit
shit
is
is hilarious.
it's just breaking character. That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Uh, I don't know how many times I've been like, "Oh my God, he's talking about me." This shit is funny.
So anyways, I also want to talk about the fact that there are people, other people that want to be on this podcast, which for me is an immense honor. It is an extreme honor to have people want to be on this podcast, Cooking with Jim Foster. It kind of started, and I thank you for letting me kind of go off the rails here, Steve, even though this is your show.
Nah, man, I'm just here for
Um,
the ride.
so I think I can have you as a co-host sometime too. So Booking with Jim Foster kind of started with me doing the TEW, Booking with Jim Foster, of course, and now it's turned into its own little talk show with being able to have the honor and the privilege to go live on YouTube. So some people that are going to be coming up, RPM, he was on the podcast last night, but he wasn't on the podcast because we hadn't worked out the bugs, and RPM was kind of a guinea pig. And then Kelly Hackenschmidt came on and he helped me work out the levels where we could hear Steve Smith, because for me this was like the best way for me to set this up.
Thanks, Kelly.
He was the dark match. So, hold on, somebody's saying that they can't hear something. Alright, so, somebody's saying that they can't hear me. I want to make sure that that's all. Yeah, I think everybody can hear me just fine. So, anyways, we're going to have RPM on soon. She's going to be talking about UEWF. We're also going to have Kelly Hackenschmidt on again soon. We're also going to have Jacob DeLeon. And if you hear it, I am now typing in another name. Christian Rainey wants to shoot. And also Josh Collins wants to be on as well. So we have a big guest list coming up. And of course, Steve Starkiller Smith will probably be on more often than not. We may rotate out.
Hey, whenever you want me, man.
So anyways, so tell me, I wanted to tell you something real quick because I wanted to talk to you about your nephews, the Spot Monkeys. They're your nephews, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about them in a minute, but real quick, I want to talk to you about when I first saw you and I first heard about you. I thought, man, Steve Starkiller Smith, that's a heck of a name to come into the business with, you know, because, you know, I was brought into the business by, you know, Chris DeLeon and, you know, other guys, Nikki Nightmare, you know, so Steve Starkiller Smith, I'm like, okay, you know, this guy, he's got like some big shoes to fill, calling himself the Starkiller. And I watched you, and you know, I never got the opportunity but once to share a locker room with you, which again, you know, I was there for your match against Yusuke and Chris DeLeon, and I got to shake your hand and meet you. And then of course we talked last night and we agreed to do this podcast, so I've gotten to watch your, no pun intended, your star rise, and you've become probably one of the biggest names in the professional wrestling industry. How does it feel to go from stepping in the ring and stepping into the business as almost a virtual unknown to where you're one of the biggest guys in professional wrestling right now? How does that make you feel, and who would you put yourself in comparison to?
It feels good. To tell you the truth, right now I'm wearing my sensational Steve Smith Bono winner 2015 shirt, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? I made a name for myself. You know, I know people feel this way or the complete opposite way of me, but a lot of people have an opinion on me. And to tell you the truth, a lot of the times when people say, wow, you've really gained a lot of success on the circuit, you know, I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be this successful. You know, it took a lot of trial and error. It took a lot of doing the wrong things. It took a lot of having some of the best people in the industry kick my ass. And you know, I have been working with some people long before they even knew that I existed, because I was just some person getting their feet wet, didn't know what they were doing, getting in the ring, enhancing somebody's show. I was, enhancing talent. And I think once I kind of came back to the States, and I brought this whole Steve Starkiller Smith persona, and I really sold that, people were kind of doing it. You're saying, who is this Starkiller guy? What is he? Is he a murderer? Do you think this is Star Wars or something? And what star has he killed? Who is this guy? And I think that's what it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, or interested people, because they were like, who is this person who has the audacity to call himself this? And that's what I did. I tried to live up to it, and I've had degrees of success and degrees of great success gaining heat for it. But it's been fun either way.
So when you joined professional wrestling, when you actually, kind of brought yourself into the wrestling business, did you think that you would garner the success that you did, or was do you? How do you feel about your success? Do you feel like it's wow, I really got lucky? Do you feel like maybe uh,
Lucky, yeah, lucky
do
as
you?
hell. If
Yeah,
freaking Lady Luck gives me a blowjob every night.
right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
when I first started out, I was just doing shows outside of flea markets up and down 8526 in North and South Carolina. I mean, you could hear it in my voice. They got that southern accent, but I mean, that's what it was. It was just doing shows outside in flea markets. Maybe the Armory if we were lucky, bingo halls, and once I kind of got close to my 20s, and I learned that, hey, if you do a lot of flips, people really like that shit. And I got a little bit of notoriety. Before my 21st birthday, I went to Japan. I did a couple of tours there. Um, I did a couple of tours to South Africa. I got lost in the Congo. I had to do a show in front of this one person. They drove us there, um, in a 1963 pickup truck. And then they stopped. They made us walk the rest of the way here. By the time we got there, it looked like an old plantation home. We got bit by mosquitoes the whole time. Me and this other dude, he was a local talent there. We had a match in front of one person. The dude was stiff as fuck, and he didn't sell anything. So I just kind of like flipped around, did everything for an hour. Then when they finally sent us home, they took all the money because I was eating, drinking at the hotel that was there. And the handler, the guy who booked me, brought me over there and said he was going to pay for it. They never did. So I had to use my girlfriend's credit card at the time to book me and this other guy who I suckered into coming to goddamn South Africa with me. I had to use her credit card to buy us tickets back home. Then we broke up. So modest beginnings, I came to Japan when I got kicked out of Japan and
Well,
I got to come back home.
you talk about Japan. That's where you initially met Chris DeLeon. I didn't happen to be there, but he told me the story that you guys initially met in Japan, and that he kind of, it wasn't a cold shoulder, but it was like he says the story that he noticed you from across the room, and that you looked his way, and that you two didn't really communicate. What was the vibe you were getting from DeLeon?
Um, I don't know. I think he got upset that I didn't shake his hand.
Right?
But I mean, I was like signing, you know, shirts all day, posters, and I just worked 3 matches, and before that, for 2 different days, I was just exhausted. And then I was over there. The sponsors there, they want me to go over there, so I'm just sitting inside this little cramped, you know, room, sitting Indian style, while they're all drinking beers, and I'm just kind of sipping on mine for 8 hours with the sponsor. I come inside the show, I see him, and from what I heard, I look like just utter shit. I think he probably looked at me and said, "Oh, look at this 185 drunk, not even legal in the states douche." And I probably should have went over there and shook his hand, but I don't know. Maybe that's where that came from. I'm not exactly sure. A lot of that time back then was kind of blurry. I was kind of a douche.
So let's. I know that you two have like kind of like made him like you have a really good friendship now. Of course, you had the match with him and Toriyama-sama. Uh, what do you, real quick before we get into your nephews, who I just have to talk about. Um, um, what are your thoughts on the retirement tour of Chris DeLeon?
Um, I know when he was making some noise, he wanted to do that last year. I think he put my name out there as somebody he'd want to work a match with, and I think that was probably one of the times I was like, oh, okay, people are paying attention. They must appreciate, my work if they want to me to be a part of their swan song. That meant a lot to me, especially when you see people who are leaders of the industry. I'm pretty sure that that list probably had you know probably Shadows, Rainy, Zero, Youngblood. I can't remember, but I it was nice seeing somebody who has been an icon for so many want to work a match with me, and especially when I was like, hey, here's a list of the the people in the industry who I know that person. They've done this, that, and the other. So it was kind of nice to get that sitting at the big kid table kind of feel.
Yeah, well, he's apparently. I just got a text from him. He said he's got a few open dates, and he wouldn't be opposed to facing you again. So I'm sure he's listening to the podcast. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind facing you again. And I can
Hey,
speak on behalf of him because I do manage his affairs, and I am. By the way, I'd like to take this opportunity to announce that as of next weekend, uh, all of Ultimate Wrestling Incorporated and Tabloid that was owned by Chris Elliott will be actually owned by Jim Foster, and then I will be taking over Tabloid and all of the assets, including the tape library of Ultimate Wrestling Incorporated, and also the wrestlers' contracts. So, again, I'm sure he'll be happy to uh, put you on the Grand Farewell Tour. He's always speaks highly of you now that he's actually had a chance to get to know you. But let's get to your nephews, the Spot Monkeys.
the Spot Monkeys, Stan and Jack Smith. They are, well, I don't know which sister's sons they are, but they're my nephews, and I love them. Uh, they kind of take after me, except I'm a little older now. You know, I'm not a young buck like those two guys, but they can do some flips and some serious badass kicks, and they're raunchy. You know, I'm over here trying to expand the market and everything. Those two, they say and do whatever they want. I think Stan's a little redneck. Stan is a little redneck.
So, we're gonna go ahead and kind of wrap this up because I know you gotta catch a flight out in the morning. I think are you going to Japan again, or because you
Oh,
said you had to do something tomorrow?
hell no, I can't go back to Japan. if I
Oh,
go
that's
to
right, you got kicked out.
Yeah, if I go to Japan, I have to go to a designated hotel. I can't leave that hotel. Ask TJ Shadows one time. He might be able to tell you a little
All
bit. I
right.
don't know.
So
It's,
I'm assuming you have a booking tomorrow or something because you said you had to be up early tomorrow.
yeah. What's this?
I know you're not afraid to drive, and that you're one of those guys that still pays your dues. You're willing to sit coach instead of first class.
Well, I will say that, and we will also say whatever Vixen believes. That that's what I'm doing.
So, anyways, I just want to thank you for being on the podcast and kicking off Cooking with Jim Foster correctly on the YouTube channel. Um,
Thanks for having me on.
and again, Just it's an honor to have you on. Always just make sure you go watch Steve and NBW Newborn Wrestling. Very good friend of mine owns that company, Christian the Kid Rainey, which he will be on this podcast as well. Also, so you guys, when does the TV deal start?
We're on Hulu, baby. We're gonna be doing NBW Level Up. It's gonna be big. Um, we got a four-way with the new NBW World Heavyweight Champion, Jacob DeLeon. He's going on with the former NBW Champion, Chris Paradise, another former NBW Champion, the Starkiller Smith, and the Sequoia Yusuke Toriyama. We also got big matches for the New Breed Championship. That's one of my favorite ones. I got my boy LJ Bradley in there, the Travis Wade. I got Jimmy Dunn. He's been holding it, representing that belt since day one. We got the new TV Championship. There's something going on with the women. You know, tag team division still strong. We got a lot of stuff going on. So Level Up NBW is going to be on Hulu. Check it out. This is Steve Starkiller Smith representing for NBW. Check us out.
And you have been listening to Booking with Jim Foster. Again, I am Jim Foster. Many, many thanks to Steve Starkiller Smith. And also, can't leave without giving you a couple more minutes, like a couple seconds of this music. This is Techno Axe. Make sure you check them out on YouTube. You check out my YouTube channel. You check out theirs. This is Jim Foster from Booking with Jim Foster. Everybody at Ultimate Wrestling Incorporated. Again, thank you so much. With 30 seconds left, Steve, do you have anything else you want to say to the people out there?
Buy my t-shirts!
This has been Booking with Jim Foster. I'm Jim Foster. He's Steve Starkiller Smith. And we are out of here.